Hey guys, Dan here from Decolo 3D Prints. Let's jump right in with an install video for the much anticipated Bauer sliding lockdown brackets that lock and unlock. Let's take a quick inspection of one of the assembled side slider brackets. As we remove the primary red locking pin, you'll notice the hole at the bottom. Although there is a pressed-in M3 nut, this hole can also accommodate different sized cotter pins, or you can use the included M3 by 20mm bolt that is supplied with this. The red slider handle is simply friction fit onto the actual slider. You can choose to use it or not use it, and can also use some glue if it eventually becomes loose. If you pull out the actual slider bracket, you'll notice some very similar characteristics to the original bolt down that I created. I revised this one because the previous one just simply worked, and a lot of you had requested the slider option. Now that we've gone through the full teardown, let's piece it back together so we can continue the installation. For this installation, I'm using a piece of 2x2 foot plywood that's 1 inch thick as a base for this install. This way I can maneuver the box orientation not only for this video, but also so I can later mount it on a wall with extra supports. While the lockdown brackets are in the locked position, line them up to the sides of whichever Bauer box you're using for the install. Give it a slight 1 to 2 millimeter air gap, as when we tighten these down, they will hug the box tight. Now, we can go ahead and install 2 screws on the outermost holes for the bracket. If you're doing what I'm doing and securing this to a panel on top of a worktop, do keep in mind, don't use screws longer than the panel that you're drilling into. You don't want to damage your worktop. Next, we can slide around to the opposite side to continue the installation. Remember to keep the bolt down in a locked position and also include that 1 to 2 millimeter air gap. And just like the other side, insert 2 screws on the outside most holes. Now, go ahead and rotate the entire assembly so it's facing you again. Remove both lockdown bars and unlock both hinges. Continue to lift and remove the Bauer box off of the work surface. This way we have more room to insert the last 2 screws on each side. Once all 4 screws are tightened on each side, go ahead and test the sliders to make sure they're still smooth. If they're not, you may need to slightly back out the center 2 screws a half rotation or 2. At this point, we're done, and this concludes the basic installation. But if you're installing this with some heavier items inside your Bauer box, or like I mentioned previously in the video, where you're planning on putting this on a wall, you might want to stay tuned for this next part. Hey guys, Dan here from No, I'm pretty sure I did that already. Boltdowns! More Boltdowns. The goal here is to create a frame template on the top and bottom of the Bauer boxes that will help hold these boxes more sturdy and in place. The 4 listed here, 2 are 59mm and 1 155mm, can be used in whichever area you need for additional support. All of them are 25mm tall, and there's a second set that is nearly 3 inches tall for extra support as well, and those will be available separately. The intention for the smaller 59mm brackets are for the smaller spots along the outside corners of the Bauer boxes, as I show in this installation, with the 2 longer ones for the middle, for the front and the back. Not all 4 are needed, and I would do at least 1 on the front and 1 in the back, but due to how many different boxes Bauer has, not all of them have the same gappage, and 2 sets of sizes just seems to cover all the versions of Bauer for Gen 1 and, so far, Gen 2. So at this point, installation should be pretty obvious, but that can also be left up to you guys. Install the bolt downs wherever you see fit within the indentations of the Bauer boxes, and screw them into place with the same hardware you guys used previously. Once the front and back are covered with the additional bolt downs, you guys are pretty much good to go. I'll share a quick little 3-picture montage of the crate, the new Gen 2 2 drawer, and the clear top just for the sake of pictures. And at this point, that's pretty much everything. Just want to thank you guys for watching. It's a little bit longer of a video, but hopefully it helps explain the installation process and the product line. For anything else, other cool tool ideas, or just generic input, feel free to comment below, like, subscribe, and keep on bringing your ideas to life.